everyone, and welcome to the 2014 Edmonton Pride Parade. We're coming to you from the downtown core, where today the flags are flying and there's so much color to be found all around.
Happy Pride, Edmonton!
Happy Pride indeed. I'm Alexa McLean, and I'm also joined by a lad who really needs no introduction, but I will try my best. He's recently been inducted into the Q Canada Hall of Fame. That's the Queer Canada Hall of Fame. He's an author, a playwright extraordinaire, and a drag artiste.
Ooh.
His name? Darren Hagen. How are you, Darren?
I'm so happy to be here today. This is an amazing experience. I love Pride Week. It's a time when Edmonton can get together and celebrate its diversity, and it's amazing. Look at all the love and joy around here today.
It's full of it. And also joining us are some roving reporters on the street side.
That's
where all the action is happening. We are going to throw to Dana Giesbrecht and see what's happening on those streets. Dana?
Thanks, Alexa. Okay, we are so excited. We're here at street level. The Pride Parade is just about to begin, and I have a very special co-host who's going to be roving the streets with me. Vanity Fair, tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your history with the Pride Parade.
I've been involved with Pride in one way or another for probably over the last 15 years now. Everything from hosting the main stage, being in the parade, being on the sidelines. I've kind of done it all. Been on the board of the Pride Society at one time too. So
you are attracting a lot of attention today. We've been trying to get from point A to point B. Vanity's been taking a half a dozen pictures every 2 steps.
Every 2 steps.
You're pretty much a focal point here at Churchill Square today.
Well, I try to be. I mean, the hair has to be a little big so you can spot me anywhere, and you know.
How long did it take to get ready today?
I've been up since about 6:30 this morning. So.
Do you know what? I actually had a bit of an anxiety attack because I wasn't sure how much makeup to wear, because I felt like I was just, no matter what, I was going to be looking completely underwhelmed next to you. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Who are you excited to chat with? Just the regular day Edmontonian. I know Andrew Ference with the Oilers is going to be here today. Lots of notable Edmontonians who plan on being part of the Pride Parade.
Actually, for me, honestly, families are always my weakness, the kids, and whether they're straight or gay families, or, you know, it's just heartwarming, I guess. Pride's a very emotional event for me every year, so.
And are you going to cry?
Probably, yes.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, stay tuned. We have Angela Bennett, the Executive Director of the Edmonton Pride Parade, coming up. But right now, Darren and Alexa, it's back to you guys.
Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Sounds like you guys are going to have a lot of fun on those streets.
Vanity Fair always has fun when she's dressed like that.
Have you seen that hair? The beehive is on blast,
well,
let me say.
You know what they say, the bigger the hair, the closer to God.
Well, she is right next to God today, which is going to be lovely for this wonderful parade that's going to be happening shortly here. But in the meantime, we have a very special interview with a lady who's been behind the scenes from the beginning. It's the director of the entire Pride Festival, Angela Bennett.
Thanks, guys. Okay, I'm here with the one, the only Angela Bennett, the Executive Director of the Pride Parade Festival here in Edmonton, who's not been getting a lot of sleep this week. How are you feeling right now?
Good.
Yeah.
I'll be glad in the next couple hours where I can walk around, maybe grab a cold lemonade or Froster or something like that.
Relax a little bit.
Yeah, until tonight.
The parade is just about to come around the corner. We're just about to get things started. 80 entries, so many hours of volunteerism. How does it feel to finally see everything come to fruition?
It's great. It's great when everything kind of all those pieces fall into place and you see all the hard work and the dedication of all the volunteers actually all mesh together and put on a great event for the city of Edmonton.
Awesome. What are some of the jobs that these volunteers do that they work tirelessly at to put on this event?
So we have a board of 13 directors who often go completely unnoticed and are often behind the scenes people, and they put in thousands of hours. Everything from purchasing and pricing merchandise to getting it out here to being on the parade route, selling it, to sending out letters to dignitaries, and there's just hundreds and hundreds of hours put in. This
is your 3rd year working on the Pride Parade here in Edmonton. How have you seen it evolve, even just over the last few years?
It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I know last year when we kind of finalized the year and went back and looked at everything overall, there was over a 40% increase in growth across the board. So
wonderful.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's been wonderful to work with you as well, and for the first time ever, have Shaw TV here producing the parade today, and people can catch it all this week on Shaw TV as well.
Yes, I'm very excited. This has been one of those things we've wished and hoped for my wish and dream and hope for 3 years, and so glad that you guys are doing it. We really appreciate it, and I hope everybody tunes in between 2 and 9, or at 2 and at 9, and especially all the people who are participating in the parade who may not be able to see it. It'd be a great opportunity for them to actually take it in.
There we go. Catch the whole thing start to finish. Angela, thanks so much for your time. Darren and Alexa, back to you guys.
Isn't it lovely to hear?
It's an exciting place down here in Churchill Square here today.
I tell you, we have 2 stages, disco party, bagpipes.
We got rock over here. The bagpipes just showed up exactly.
It's going to be a full house here in the downtown core, and you know what? What better way to celebrate than to have it full of people and their families? And I even saw a big dog with a tutu.
You're gonna see dogs painted in rainbow colors all day. I swear. Every year that happens. Now this is your first time at Edmonton Pride, isn't it, Alexa?
Numero un. It is indeed.
That's
I've been here for 2 years. Moved out from Halifax, and you know what? I am so excited to be here today, especially for the first broadcast.
It's brilliant, and it's about time that the parade was actually broadcast because it has come a long way in the last 34 years. I'll never forget the first couple of Pride parades on the south side where they were a few blocks long and very few people involved, and people were actually terrified to be seen in the parade. There was people that wanted to march but had to wear paper bags over their heads so they wouldn't be recognized by the media or by the people they worked with. We've come a long way.
You would never believe those days existed if you were here right now, let me tell you.
That's true.
We also have one more story to throw to. Before all of this parade kicks off, we wanted to give you an inside look at how the organizations prepare their floats. Here's Shaw TV's Bianca Jade with that.
Team Edmonton is busy adding the final touches to their float extravaganza for the 2014 Pride Parade.
It's fun, it's charismatic, it's all of those things that you want to see. Like, it's entertaining, high energy dancing.
Pride Parade is all about love and diversity and great music and culture.
From dancers to stilt walkers, Team Edmonton promotes sexual minority sports and rec, all while telling a colorful story.
So I introduced 3 colors, which was purple, yellow, and red. Purple meaning more of a spiritual color, yellow immortality, and red was a color passion. Going for a conclusion, which is where all the colors actually come together, so our story is complete.
Meanwhile, celebrating together in Pride.
The greatest thing is working with a bunch of people that have no dance experience. So in a short period of time, in 2.5 months, we become a really tight-knit dance team, and it's great that so many people come and join us and they have no idea what they're capable of until the final product at the parade, which we're excited to share with everyone.
Half the people who are dancing are straight, so I think having that camaraderie of, you know, it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, Asian, black, wherever you're from, you're welcome.
Edmonton's first Pride had only a few walking members in its early years. The event now covers 10 days and includes large businesses.
So having corporations getting involved and showing that they stand behind them is not only their way for opening doors for business, but making sure that they show their community that they support them.
Allowing for the Pride culture to remain in Edmonton all year long.
They are so inclusive and so supportive. Honestly, I come to work every day bringing my true self to work, and I never once have an issue with it.
Keeping that spirit alive is what today is all about.
I hope they cheer. I hope they get really excited. I hope they feel like that you know, they see a part of them on the float.
For Pride Week, I'm Bianca Jade.
Okay, well, as you can see, the route is getting more and more full of people.
Look at it, here comes the parade.
It is coming towards us.
Second.
The excitement is brewing, and Churchill Square is just getting packed.
The crowds are getting thicker and thicker, and they're all converging towards the finale of the parade right now, so it's going to be a very exciting crowd here.
The celebration awaits, and most importantly, the community is here to celebrate together.
The entire community. And there's people that are going to be wondering why they don't call it Gay Pride Parade anymore. It's now called just Pride, and there's a very good reason for that, Alexa. Often our community is referred to as LGBTQQIISSTTTT, and we know what some of those, I call it the alphabet soup of diversity, with just lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, two-spirited, intersex, straight, and supportive. All of those people are actually part of the same community, which is a community that celebrates diversity of sexual minorities. So for the shorthand today, I'm going to be calling it the queer community because that's the word that I'm most familiar with and the one I'm most comfortable with. Everybody can pick their own word, though.
Exactly. The key point here is community. The umbrella is a large one, and there's so many people who fit underneath that, but today we're all here together, and that's what's so important.
And it's a brilliant crowd, full of so much diversity today. There's a Euro bungee jump right across. I've never played a park with a bungee jump before.
Your time for that may happen soon. While we're waiting, we're just about to kick off the actual parade, but first we're going to head to street level with Vanity Fair.
Thanks, guys. Pride is one of those festivals where it's not only being here at the parade, but it's very important what you're wearing, of course. I'm here with Tiff. And Tiff, what inspired your outfit today?
Actually, it's my girlfriend. She's all the one with the tie-dye and all the ideas. We just came together and made it.
So you guys have matching outfits today?
Yeah.
That's always good to find your friends in the crowd as well. There she is. Awesome. What are you looking forward to most in the parade today?
Just to see see what they're all like, because where we're from, we don't see much of that. So then we're all out here just see what's happening.
So you come to Edmonton for the Pride experience?
Yes.
That's awesome. Have a great time today.
Thanks.
Back to you guys.
As you can see, we're getting so close. The anticipation, I can hardly handle it.
It looks pretty sparkly. And look, there's big inflatable things coming at us.
I don't even know what to look at. I mean, we have flags, we have balloons. There's like a large peacock lady. I'm just overwhelmed.
I love her outfit best already.
Glitter, glitter, glitter.
This actually reminds me, back when I first started doing the Pride Parades in Edmonton, they were a small affair. And then I got flown out to Toronto once to be in the Toronto Gay Pride Parade on the Chaps Badlands float.
The Pride Kingdom.
With my drag sisters, Lulu and Justine, and the three of us were showgirls, saloon girls on a float. And I've never seen hundreds of thousands of people lined up before. I've never had my picture taken so many times as that day in my life. In fact, about 10 years later, I walked into a gay bar in Winnipeg, and actually there was a picture of the three of us behind the bar. Look at all the happy people. One of my favorite things to do when you're actually lucky enough to be in the parade is to take pictures of all the people that are there to see the parade.
The spectators, and there's such a sea of spectators here.
And a smile on every face. It's a really beautiful thing.
You can't really get a happier bunch of people clustered into one area, I would say, than the Pride Parades. We have Mardi Gras beads, lovely couple, hopefully getting some tans today. The weather is cooperating thus far.
And you'll never see more versions of what you can do with a rainbow than you will at this Pride Parade.
The rainbow is everywhere.
Exactly.
Flags, tutus. I keep referring
Mohawks.
to the tutus, but I just love those tutus.
You love the tutus. You have a thing for ballet,
I do.
don't you?
The ponies have rainbows.
Nice.
I think it just represents the overall color and flair that this community has.
Now, are you impressed with the crowd that Edmonton's pulled together? This is your first time. You were from Halifax.
I must say, I hail from Halifax, and we actually have quite a diverse community back home.
That's a pretty fun town.
Large parade for such a little old maritime town.
Yeah.
But Edmonton, you are impressing me. Let me say that.
See, we got the first-time girl all embarrassed and impressed with everything that's happening here today.
It's such a lovely day to have everyone out in Churchill Square, because this is where the hub and the heart and soul of the city is. So now that everyone's coming down for the parade, that's really just, I can see it.
It's right around the corner here.
We will show you soon.
Exactly, and you can see the beautiful Churchill Square behind us. And this is kind of remarkable too, because Churchill Square was actually a place where we weren't allowed to bring the final moments of the parade to until Mayor Stephen Mandel finally allowed the parade to sort of take over the center of Edmonton, City Hall in the background. And City Hall has made some important sort of leaps forward in terms of how they embrace the diversity of the queer community as well. In fact, this year, just this year, when the Sochi Olympics were on in Russia, there was a pride flag, a rainbow flag flown outside City Hall to support the LGBTQ athletes that were up against a bit of a regime, an oppressive regime over in Russia. So it's kind of amazing to see the support coming from political and official channels.
It seems as though every year that passes, Pride and the support for it just keeps growing. And it's so lovely to have that here, especially since, you know, so many firsts last year. The first time a premier raised the flag in Alberta for Pride.
That's right.
CFB, the Edmonton base, the military base, rose a Pride flag. So people are just joining in and celebrating, and I think that that's what the important message is all about.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we can see the parade getting a little bit closer here.
Obviously, the police officers are ensuring everyone's safety as the floats get going down the streets.
Plus, they're looking pretty fine in their uniforms, too, I have to say.
You can't, the uniforms speak for themselves, really.
I totally agree.
And you know what? Right before we round the bend here for our first shots of the floats, we're going to have one more chat with the lovely Vanity Fair.
Thanks, guys. The parade's just about to come around the corner here, and I have the lovely and talented Frances here with me. She's been to Pride before, but this is your very first Pride Parade, correct? Yes?
Yes, it is.
Are you excited?
I'm super excited.
Now, are you from Edmonton, Frances?
Yes. Yes, I am.
And you haven't been to the parade before?
No, I haven't.
Well, I'm going to let you get back to your seat because you're in for a good show. Are you ready? All right, let's hear some noise out there, guys.
Well, no one could get the crowd going like Vanity Fair.
I was just going to say that. Now, Vanity Fair, of course, is Empress 37 of Edmonton.
Why don't you explain the Empress aspect?
Well, Edmonton has always had a crowned head of state. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I can't say I did.
Much like England. Oh, and here we go. We have the 2014 Edmonton Pride Parade Color Guard.
It's officially kicking off. Ladies and gentlemen, The Pride Parade in Edmonton is going to start with our color guard, and they have a lovely banner to welcome everybody to the show.
Exactly. I don't know the 3 individuals that are carrying the flag, the banner, which surprises me.
All that matters is that one of them has a megaphone. They are going to conduct and command attention.
All that ever matters, isn't it? As long as everybody can be heard.
We're going to be coloring all of the shots with many different camera angles. We have the crowd, we have the lovely overview. As you can see here, the crowd is ginormous, really.
Oh, wow. The aerial view is amazing, isn't it? And this young man certainly knows how to whip the crowd into a frenzy.
So this is the color guard that we're seeing, and this is how we're going to kickstart the entire flow of the parade. So many more. We actually have a total of 80 entries.
Which is, I believe, the biggest lineup of floats that we've ever had involved in the Pride Parade.
It must be up there. Last year, the spectator count came in at 30,000 people. So that's 30,000 people we have lining the streets of downtown Edmonton.
At least. On a beautiful day like this, it might even be more. And you know what? They're still pouring out of the LRT entrance right behind me here.
And we're coming up on our next group
And our next group is GLBT, Pinoy, and Friends.
And they are the parade marshals. They're actually going to be representing the Filipino community.
Now, this is their 3rd parade, and the Pinoy and Friends is all about showcasing the rich culture and heritage of the Filipino community.
And they also are all about supporting charities by raising money with their drag shows. So everyone loves a drag show, and these guys know how to capitalize on that. And they're, I mean, look, the Filipino flags, the Pride flags,
nice.
It's a lovely match.
And apparently the group is also known as the Queens of the Orient.
Well, welcome, Queens of the Orient. We love to have all the queens.
Excellent.
Vanity Fair is just one of several queens, I'm sure.
Oh, God. There's more queens down here than you can shake a stick at. And there's a big float coming up behind that I can actually see in the distance, but before then we're going to have some other stuff as well.
The smiles are bright and everyone's shining.
Everyone's wearing a little piece of rainbow.
And that just goes to show you that the all-inclusive, it's for all backgrounds, Filipino, and I'm sure we're going to have lots of representatives from other countries too.
Well, it's amazing. I'm looking at the rainbow flag doesn't just represent the sort of the diversity of the sexual world. It also represents the diversity of the population here in Edmonton.
And the more multicultural we become, the more people who want to come down and celebrate this special day with everybody.
It's one of those things that, you know, you spend your life fighting for human rights so that you can get some sort of equality. And then what do you do with that privilege? You share it with everybody that you can and make sure that everybody feels welcome in your small town that you've created.
For generations to come, really. Okay, here we go.
There we go, the Queens of the Orient.
This is what it's all about.
Oh, look at her.
She's got a Captain America theme
fantastic.
going on. I love those stars.
Oh, that headpiece, the collar is amazing.
So tell me, when you see this, Derek, was that a part of your get-up to have a big, extraordinary ornament on your back?
I was usually about giant hair, but that is a fabulous thing to wear in a parade. That actually takes a real cue from Mardi Gras and some of the Rio de Janeiro kind of carnival looks, where you actually wear a float on your back. That's a small version of that.
And I know you were saying, as far as influences, when you began drags, your drag career many, many moons ago, you used to draw from a very small pool of influences.
Well, yeah, there was no MTV, there was no internet. I mean, I'm sorry, it was the old days. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is the carnival look I'm looking for.
We have Ursula.
Oh, Ursula, queen of the underwater. Look at her go.
You gotta love those bubbles.
Those things are moving by themselves too. And look, this is all the mermaids now. My very first time in a parade at Edmonton was in a mermaid costume, so this is making me very happy.
You're having those joyful flashbacks.
Well, there was a couple of flashbacks too, where kids teased me and went, "You are a man, you are a man." But that's
look at it now. It's actually a float. It's kind of an underwater float. I would venture to say.
They've sort of the king of Neptune there. They've got bubbles happening. I've never seen so many colors of mermaid tails in my life.
And those flags just keep flying. No matter where you are in the parade, we're going to keep seeing lots of the rainbow flags that everyone seems to have on the streets down here.
There's a lot of people here today. This is really kind of amazing.
So this is a nice overview of the full float, so you can see
that they worked hard on that float.
Those trucks are being put to use today to pull these large floats behind them.
Amazing. Amazing. That's a real way to raise the bar at the top of the parade, to show up with a float like that.
Especially at the beginning of the parade.
Well, you got to start off with a big number, right?
Keep in mind, we're almost at the end, so this has already traveled about 6 or 8 blocks in that.
Oh, those poor mermaids! Their feet must be getting tired from flapping.
I must say, these tentacles.
They're kind of amazing,
I don't know if they're supporting or. or enhancing the dancing, but the overall package is quite lovely.
I gotta say, those tentacles might actually be holding her onto that float.
Okay, well, while we keep on watching all the floats as they come around the bend, we're actually going to go down and speak with the lovely Dana Giesbrecht.
Thanks, Alexa. Okay, so it's very, very loud. The mermaid float just went by. I think I still have some bubbles in my hair. And I'm here with Cindy, who's keeping a Hawaiian theme going. Whoop! Tell me a little bit about your recent travels and where you were for Pride somewhere else in the world.
Yes, I was at Vegas for Pride. And after Vegas, we went to Hawaii, so I had to wear my Hawaiian outfit today in support of Pride.
Well, you look great. Tell me what it means to be at Pride here in Edmonton.
I love Pride here. It's good spirit. You can be who you want to be. Everybody's out for a good time. Wonderful, beautiful floats that go by.
And you told me that your son is actually transgender, so you're here supporting him as well today.
Yes, exactly.
Is he wearing coconuts?
No, my son's not wearing coconuts. I'm the brave one out of the family.
Give us one last shimmy while we wait for the next float to come by. Very nice. Cindy, thanks so much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Alexa and Darren, back to you guys.
And look at that, ladies and gentlemen, we have Premier Dave Hancock in the Pride Parade this year. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is actually the first time a sitting Premier of the province has actually rode in the float in the parade.
Almost 34 years since the parade has begun in Edmonton, and here we are today.
Well, and 40 years of Tory rule, and that's the first Tory who's actually floated in the parade.
What better way to travel through than a spiffy little sports car?
We've come a long way, haven't we?
We have indeed, and he must be having a great time. I mean, everyone's waving and greeting him with open arms.
Well, who doesn't love a parade? After all. Look, he even wore a pink shirt for the occasion.
And
awesome.
If all goes well, we will be having an interview with Premier Dave Hancock down the road. So once he's done with his little convertible tour, we will wrap him up and we will try and chat with him. Okay, and you know what? Before the Premier comes, we're actually going to have an interview with another special Edmontonian. Wow. Mayor Don Iveson is standing by with Dana. Dana, take it off.
Awesome. Well, we have caught Mayor Don Iveson on his bicycle, who's also getting the crowd worked up right now. And he also has his little ones, Dex and Alice, who are at their very first Pride Parade. How does it feel to be here today? And I love the bicycle. What are you promoting with the bike here?
Well, you know, it's Bring My Family to Work Day. And, you know, it's not their first Pride Parade that they've seen. It's the first one they've been in, though. Okay. And so, but as a family, you know, active living's important to us. So we thought we'd ride our bikes. But today is all about Pride. This is all about a city that celebrates its diversity, that wants to include every last person, regardless of their sexual preference, regardless of where they come from, regardless of what they look like, regardless of their ability. And Pride is not just about the LGBTQ community. It's also about accepting everybody for who they are and loving them and embracing them. And you feel that energy in the city today.
Wonderful. And your wife just rode up behind you. We have Sarah Chen with you as well. I know this is a week-long festival, but today is the big day. What do you hope that Edmontonians who have come down to street level to enjoy the Pride Parade take away from this experience today?
Well, I'm sure that Edmontonians who come and see this today will see that we're all the same, we're all human, and that expressing yourself as who you are is the best way to be, and embracing each other, you know, as who we are is what makes living in Edmonton safe for everybody, inclusive for everybody, and makes this a wonderful place to live.
Well, TD Financial, it just passed by. Now this is another sort of, and Don Iveson waving at us. I gotta say, one of the other things that makes Edmonton a great place to be is having the tallest, best looking mayor in Canada,
you know,
I gotta say.
And how fitting is it for him to be with his family on bicycles? He's such an advocate of the biking community and really all the communities in Edmonton.
It's amazing. He represents us all. Now we have a bunch of the folks that work at TD Financial, and this is actually a great symbol of how far Pride has come, that the big corporations are actually starting to be involved. Now they are the first major corporate sponsor of Pride and the first Canadian financial institution to profile same-sex couples in mainstream advertising.
Way to go, TD. Okay, we're going to keep moving here, and up next we have, we are actually going to stick with TD. They are just that wonderful.
They feel that it's important that employees bring their whole selves to work, so they are committed to building an inclusive, barrier-free environment.
And that's really well said, the whole self spectrum, because when you're at work, let's be honest, we are there a lot of the hours throughout the day. You want to be yourself, you want to be genuine.
I've been lucky enough that I've always been able to be myself at work.
That is shocking.
Frankly, that's probably why I don't work very many places, though.
So jumping along here, we have Dentons.
We have Dentons.
Dentons is actually a law firm. here in Edmonton, and they are just going to stroll through the parade. They don't have a float, but that's a-okay.
That's okay.
Dancing is
They're
all
here
we
to
need.
support, and they have striped socks, which we always appreciate.
I should have brought some of those today.
Yeah, those
we
rainbow
got
socks.
the flags,
Remember
but
when we were kids, those rainbow socks with the toes in them?
who would have known they'd be such a hit?
They would totally
down
come
the
in handy
roads.
on a day like today.
So, another truck carrying floats.
And Dentons must feel, of course, like TD, that there's obviously a reason to be here to support the inclusion and the diversity of the event.
It's safe to say that a lot of these workplaces want to demonstrate that they are very inclusive and they are very welcoming of all backgrounds, especially, like you said, sexual minorities. I know that's a textbook kind of way to say it.
It's a good phrase, though. It explains it in a legal way.
Sometimes it just makes sense when you say it that way, and a lot of workplaces are very open.
Well, and there was a time when businesses would be afraid to get involved in the politics of a statement like that, of taking a stand like that. And I think what's happened now is people have started to realize that it's actually just good business. It's actually good business.
Here's a lady.
I like to call this lady Empress. Ladies and gentlemen, MLA Lori Blakeman. Now, Lori Blakeman has been involved in Pride for 20+ years, since the beginning, frankly. She is one of the MLAs, probably the MLA that has worked the hardest for the queer community here in Edmonton. She's recently convinced the government to use non-gender specific language in Family Law Act, using the phrase spouse rather than husband or wife. She is also the MLA for the fabulous constituency of Edmonton Centre since 1997. She's a huge supporter of gay-straight alliances in schools. She has fought for our rights in the legislature alone, tooth and nail, for decades now. Also, she actually officiated at my wedding to my husband. So she was in the backyard watching us take the vows. And of course, here we have the Liberal Party of Edmonton.
Exactly.
Leader Raj Sherman, Dr. Raj Sherman right there.
He's getting the crowd fired up.
Oh yeah, he knows how to get a crowd fired up.
They've been decriminalizing homosexuality. They started in the late 1960s.
Exactly.
So they've been on board with pushing forward for the community for decades.
The Liberal Party has always been at the forefront of gay rights in Canada.
I think
They're very proud of their history.
the biggest point of their proof of that is when they legalized same-sex unions.
Yeah, they were also the first federal party that actually had an openly gay cabinet minister, Scott Bryson, and I remember when that happened. Here we have the Alberta Party, which is one of the newest parties, political parties in Alberta, and I don't see the leader. I was looking for Greg Clark, who I thought might be in the parade.
He may pop up, but they obviously have
I'm not sure if
few
that's
of
him
their
or not.
members.
I've never met him. So.
Interesting factoid here, they're opposed to any attempts to deny or diminish the rights of Albertans to marriage equality, so they're very much on board of everybody having the same equality, especially when it comes to unions and marriage.
There we go. And look, it's just one party after another at this party.
The
now we
wave
have
of
the
parties.
New Democrat Party. This is the Alberta New Democrats with Linda Duncan, who is actually a federal MP for Edmonton Strathcona. They are the only political party to have an LGBT caucus made up of members from the LGBTQ community.
And that caucus actually there, and it offers opportunities to advocate and provide a voice for issues within the party. So they have an open door policy when it comes to addressing any of those issues and making sure that everyone feels like they're included.
Absolutely. They oppose repressive legislation like Bill 44, which is, of course, the bill that the progressive conservative government brought in to try to protect parents' rights to exclude their children from diversity education in the schools.
NDP working for you, and you know what? That's a great sign. I think it gets everybody on board and makes sure that they feel like they're a part of that celebration.
Beautiful.
That the
I've met Linda Duncan. She's an awesome lady and a great politician. And actually, another little interesting thing about the NDP is when I was inducted into the Queer Hall of Fame last September, Jack Layton was also inducted into that Queer Hall of Fame. I got to meet Olivia Chow that night.
What an honor.
It was just a thrill to be involved with such an amazing event, an amazing bunch of people.
I must say they have a packed trolley on the back of this NDP.
Wow, do they ever? Look at them.
They are just in there.
And we see a lot of letters there. We see NDP and we see GSA, which of course is a great gay straight alliance.
Up next we have the lovely Alberta Union of Provincial Employees, and their message is very simple. They're proud to walk with anyone in this event, regardless of the sexual preference.
And apparently they've been involved with the parade for 10 years now.
So they're hooked, I would say.
I would say they're family.
Yeah, they are loving it, and they're here almost every year, so welcome.
And again, sometimes in a place like Alberta, where the government actually kind of fought for a long time to keep human rights from being across the board, stuff like corporations and unions were actually one of the ones, some of the organizations that kind of helped force that legislation through, because they wouldn't wait for it to be legislated before they made it their policy.
They made it top of mind.
Yeah, they made it their mandate to actually treat people with equality right off the beginning. so.
Well, these are kind of the forerunners for some of those big changes then, and that's a great way to start this parade, is to see all the parties that are involved and also people like the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees.
Well, it also puts a face on the people that change it, right? Because change comes from individuals that are willing to go up against the system.
Big old piggy bank.
The Canadian Union of Postal Workers, Edmonton Local 730. Now, the CUPW fights for diversity within the workplace. They have an active human rights committee that protects the rights of LGBTQ workers on a national and local level. And they also provide education on human rights.
Which, I mean, really, education is the key to people breaking down any sort of walls they may have, and it really opens up the scope of inclusiveness.
It's so true. Part of the struggle when we first started trying to get human rights and equal rights for the queer population was the fact that we needed to educate people about our lives first. We had to show them what we were about, because for a lot of people they didn't have that frame of reference yet. Again, I feel very privileged to have one foot in the past where we didn't have human rights, and now one foot in a present that can imagine a whole new version of what the future is going to look like.
You've traveled the parade timeline,
yep,
my friends.
I have.
Okay, we have the Dancing United Food and Commercial Workers, and we have a lovely bulldog and a little bit of a wagon here.
I love bulldogs.
I bet that little pooch is just having a blast.
Now, the UFCW Local 401 provides assistance and support for people in all workplaces. They were instrumental in negotiating language that protects people in the LGBTQ community. They are the largest private sector union in Alberta. I don't ever remember seeing this many union parties and political parties at the Pride Parade before. It's pretty amazing.
I'm sure it'll just keep growing from here, really.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those
kind of
things
like a
where
little
if you're not
wildfire.
involved,
yeah,
it's going to look weird.
So I'm just going to go on a limb here. I think they like yellow. I think that's a color that's resonating with their message here.
Like
we got the
guy's
lad with the
head.
balloon. Balloons and bubbles seem to be what a lot of
you can never go wrong with balloons and bubbles.
Balloons and bubbles,
so
indeed. And some of these groups are quite large when you think of the participants that are getting on board here.
Well, I know from experience, putting a float together is not easy. It takes a few man hours. It takes a lot of commitment.
And a lot of it's volunteer hours. It's outside. You know, you work your 9 to 5, and then you go decorate a float.
It's true. Then someone has to remember to bring the stapler, the tape gun, the glue gun, the glitter,
the bubbles for the parade. It's hard to imagine how many hours were put into this whole build up to where we are right now.
We've seen a lot of bubbles now. I'm just wondering what the bubble budget was for this parade. Oh, you know what? Through my camera, I can actually see Vanity Fair down there on the street.
Let's see if the lady with the beehive has something to say. Vanity Fair, what's going on?
What's going on? Thanks, guys. I'm here with Kathleen, and Kathleen has a whole brood of little ones with her here. So, Kathleen, what would you say to all the families that are sitting at home on their couch watching the parade?
They need to get out here and teach more than just tolerance and acceptance. They have to celebrate.
Awesome. The Pride Society goes to great lengths to make Pride a family-friendly event. Would you say they've succeeded?
Oh, definitely. Always. Every year.
Awesome. Thank you. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Vanity. She's having a blast.
Amazing.
And you know what? If you can't get enough of Vanity and her get-up, you're going to see her emceeing after the parade. She's been involved with the whole festivities for many different
Just try
months.
shutting her up today, I say. That's a dare.
Drag that microphone away. Okay, so right now we have a sponsor, actually, the Alberta Federation of Labor.
Now, the Alberta Federation of Labor includes representatives of several affiliated unions across Alberta, and it works to raise awareness about the issues of gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people face in the workplace. They want all rights to be seen as equal, not special, and which demonstrates healthy and progressive social attitudes so that all issues from the community are addressed.
Okay, so we are going to throw to the Premier with Dana.
Premier Dave Hancock.
Thanks, guys. I am here with Premier Dave Hancock, who just rode through the parade in style. How did it feel to be one of the first few floats today?
Well, the only problem is you don't get to see all the rest of it.
I know. That's why you've joined me on the sidelines. Now we got a front row view for everything going by. What's been the best part about being a part of the Pride Parade here in Edmonton today?
Well, first of all, there's so many people out here celebrating and having a good time and expressing themselves and feeling exuberant about where they are in the community, and that's just great. A community that can love itself and people can come out and celebrate. It's wonderful.
Compared to other communities you've been to in Alberta, what do you think of Edmonton's Pride overall?
Well, I'm not sure I could compare the prides, but
pretty big. We got a lot.
But Edmonton does have pride, and it's a great place. Edmonton's such a great community because everybody participates. You know, in every area that you're in, you'll see it doesn't matter where you came from or who you are or what background you have. Edmonton is such an inclusive place that people can actually live and enjoy themselves and have a great quality of life here.
And you dressed the part today. I love the rainbow tie. Who helped you pick that out?
Well, I got the rainbow tie, my pink shirt. That's about, you know, as expressive as I get. I'm not that outgoing a guy.
Well, I love the look, and thank you so much for speaking with us. Enjoy the rest of the parade, okay?
Oh, thank you.
Darren and Alexa, back to you guys.
I am thrilled to see the Premier of our province in a
What
rainbow
a
tie
jolly
and a
fellow,
pink shirt.
especially like he said, not very outgoing. He did a
He looked
wonderful
pretty
job.
outgoing. Oh, and here we have the first of the gay bars in Edmonton. This is Woody's Pub and Cafe.
And if you're wondering where to find Woody's, it's right above Buddy's on Jasper
That's
Ave.
right. They are the official volunteer sponsor and longtime supporter of the Pride Parade. In fact, I don't think I've ever been, from the moment that Woody's opened, they've always been a part of the parade as far as I can remember.
And you know what? They just went that extra mile and they put on a whole DJ studio contraption on the back of their
bring
float.
their own music.
They have a Toyland float. That's the theme that they're going for.
They got some building blocks
and
there.
They're getting everyone grooving. You know, it may be early afternoon, but people are ready to go. They are ready to dance.
I saw a teddy bear there. I'm not sure what the guy in green is doing. Is he a Gumby? No, he's one of those. He's one of those little military guys. Look at the pigtails here in the audience.
I mean,
the rainbow
kids must just think this is like the wonderland of celebration.
Beautiful. Here we have representatives from Edmonton Pride Center, the Pride Center of Edmonton. This has been a part of the Edmonton community for 40+ years. They've had lots of different locations. Currently, they're on 105th Avenue. They provide a non-judgmental, welcoming space, and they organize support groups, social and educational seminars for the community. Especially important for newcomers to Edmonton. If they come to the Pride Center, they will always get a fair start in this city and a friendly, welcoming environment that will let them know where the resources are that they're trying to find in Edmonton.
And that's really important, especially when you're, like you said, you're new. You may not be as comfortable. Not only is the city new, but you as a person, you're trying to find your groove. You want to have those resources available, and the Pride Center definitely gives that.
Exactly. And here we have the amazing folks from HIV Edmonton, another organization that's been around for so many decades. They're actually a sponsor of the Pride Awards. It's over 30 years since HIV became one of the most significant global threats. A lot of us actually remember what it was like when that first came around. This agency was actually born out of that crisis. It all started in 1984 at Michael Fair's kitchen table. And you know what? Almost every story of queer rights in Edmonton starts with that sentence. Michael Fair's kitchen table should be entered into the archives. The members of the community got together to find a way to help with the crisis. The vision they have is zero HIV infections, zero stigma and discrimination, and zero AIDS-related death. Now we've got the fabulous folks from Jasper Pride Festival Society.
And you know what?
Amazing.
I must say, I was just in Jasper, and I actually got some rainbow fudge because they just celebrated their 5th Pride.
And luckily, Guys in Disguise, my drag troupe, actually got to perform at the 5th anniversary of Jasper Pride. Started by an Edmontonian who moved out there and opened up a cafe, actually. Now, it brings pride to the Jasper National Park in support of the local and visiting queer community. When we were there doing the Pride this year for their 5th anniversary, they did a little poll. They had people from Grand Prairie, Dawson Creek, Fort St. John, Hinton, Edson, Edmonton, Calgary. It was just an amazing thing.
They come in droves to the mountain for Pride.
Exactly.
Okay,
now we
guys.
have Virgin Radio.
Virgin Radio, and if you know what, they get the party going because they are going to actually be the sponsor of the Youth Zone. So all the youth who want to dance, Virgin Radio is here for you.
And apparently they provide Edmonton with the best hit music and entertainment.
Why not, eh?
I see no reason to dispute
Perry,
that.
You want your Lady Gaga? Turn on Virgin.
I do want my Lady Gaga. Absolutely.
Little monsters everywhere. Okay, Adara, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Adara Hair and Body Studio, and
look at this.
Wow,
that's fun. What a fun look. Oh, who's she? See, I used to know all these queens.
We have a little RuPaul lookalike.
Totally,
actually,
a little bit of an Egyptian goddess there.
In Adara Hair and Body Studio's own words, Pride helps tear down walls of bullying, stereotypes, and world issues.
Adara is also on the gay-friendly business directory for Edmonton and feels that it's important to represent the community as a gay business owner and walk in the parade. So they're with us today for that.
So they're representing one of the many local businesses that are here in Edmonton today.
Exactly. Now, American Apparel, these kids are really important. You've been seeing probably on camera the volunteers running around in pink and green t-shirts.
Love the volunteers.
Showing that they're volunteer. Well, American Apparel actually sponsored the volunteer t-shirts.
They're being taken care of, Darren.
Yeah, it's so true. They're a sweatshop-free company, and they've been in Canada since 2003.
Wow.
They've always been big supporters of the human rights and of the LGBTQ community.
You know, and when I think American Apparel, all I think about is rainbows, really. If I want a bright, neon-colored get up, that's where I'm going. And I love it that they gave the volunteers some love with their volunteer uniforms.
Well, the volunteers are looking pretty sassy, I gotta
right?
say.
You gotta know where those guys are to help you out, because there's a lot of people down here and a lot going on.
Look at the size of the crowd in this
I'm loving our aerial overview. Our camera ops are doing such a great job.
We're like hang gliding over the parade. We've got the best view. It's
Let's
so
go
awesome.
slow-mo into the crowd.
There we go. Look at that. People lined up 30, 40 deep in places. People of all ages, all races.
And we're just in one small area, and this has gone several blocks. I mean, all of these streets are packed.
It's so true. It's hard to look at everybody's cheering. It's hard to actually wrap your head around how big it is unless you're actually in the parade watching the crowd as you drive by, which I have to recommend it to everyone. Yeah. Next year, everyone should be in the parade because, boy, you'll have a great time and you'll see a lot of happy people.
There's food for thought. If you can find a way onto one of these floats, get a little GoPro and experience the parade from the street level, really.
It really is the best way to see a parade, let me tell you. Now, we have a little bit of a lull in the proceedings here. I can see, is that Vanity? Oh, no, that's Dana.
Yeah,
those girls
you're right.
Those girls stand out on the street.
You know your divas, let me tell you. Vanity's actually on street level, Darren, and she's going to give us another interview.
Oh, is she? Excellent.
All right, guys, thank you. I'm here with Linda. Linda just told me she remembers Pride from way back in the 90s. 80s, you said. 80s, sorry.
Yeah, back in the 80s when I was taller. It was only a few blocks long. It was over on Jasper Avenue, and it was over Toots Tweed. It didn't take long.
Does Pride bring out a lot of emotion in you over the years?
You know what? I get really teary at the beginning of this. I got sunglasses, eh? Because I do. I get really teary when I see how far our community has come. It never used to be like this, and I never thought I'd see the day that there would be gay rights. We could marry. You could dress like you are. Beautiful.
It's awesome, isn't it? We've come a long way in Alberta, haven't we?
Oh, I love it. We got more to do, but it's wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you, Linda. Back to you guys.
And Linda is experiencing a lot of the emotions that a lot of us are feeling whenever we attend a Pride event, because it has changed so much over the years. Now, here's something that all the boys have been waiting for.
Oh, the boys.
Which is the snug underwear. This is a new entry this year.
You know, it's surprising how much of a fashion statement underwear has become. Something where really you think that no one's going to see, you're seeing it.
Oh, trust me, everyone sees underwear eventually.
I actually am digging the suspenders.
I know, I never thought that rainbow suspenders and underwear would go together, but look at that.
Hey, I might throw some suspenders on later over my tank top and
now, snug underwear
go for a little
is
cruise.
I want to see that. Snug underwear is known as the king of men's underwear.
Oh my.
Fancy. The company is owned and operated by an LGBTQ team. So, and here they are representing themselves at the Edmonton Pride for the very first time.
And I'm sure as the years continue to go by us, there's going to be more of these companies that are opened with teams from the community that bond together.
I think as companies realize that it's actually a really important market for them and an important way to appear progressive and to embrace all customers in your community, that you have to move forward with incentives like that. Absolutely.
So, guys, this is a wonderful organization. It's Blush Lane Organic Market. They have their balloons of pride on display, and actually they have sponsored all of the food for the volunteers, and they are being fed well, let me tell you.
Oh, they are. It's so true. Now, the owner is a member of the gay community, knows how important it is for local business leaders to support employees and the entire community. All of the food from Blush Lane Organic Market is certified organic produce, provided volunteers with all of our food today, and they have a zero tolerance policy on any form of discrimination.
And if you have not been into a Blush Lane, my friends, I am telling you right now, you need to.
It's amazing.
The food is fresh, it's local, you gotta love it.
It's amazing.
Dana Giesbrecht, she's rounded him up. She's got another interview on the street level. Dana?
Thanks, Alexa. I have grabbed Diane from the crowd, and you're here with your neighbor and her daughter today, and you're celebrating Pride for your own reasons.
Yes, I am. I'm so proud to be a supporter of the LGBT community. I used to be part of the Edmonton Pride Board, and it's the first year that I have a chance to experience it as an onlooker and not a doer. So it's awesome, awesome.
You've got great seats. What's been your favorite float so far?
The mermaids. Mermaids were fantastic. They were beautiful, yeah.
I keep watching all these drag queens go by and thinking, wow, I wish I could look that good. And they're doing it for such a wonderful cause. For all our viewers at home watching who have never experienced Pride, what would you say to them to make sure they get out next year and come experience it for themselves?
I I think it's basically come see what it's all about, get over the stigma that is attached to it. It's a beautiful celebration, and help us embrace these young people who have decided to come out and enjoy it.
Diane, thanks so much for speaking with us. We're going to head back to the parade now.
And here we are looking at the Coast Edmonton Plaza Hotel float.
If you're looking for a place to rest your head during the week-long festivities, I'm sure the Coast would hook you up.
Absolutely. Also, the sister hotels to the Coast Edmonton Plaza are involved in different prides across Canada, from Whistler to Kelowna. So,
and believe it or not, there is a lovely pride that Whistler has in January of each year. It's the Winter Pride.
Oh, that's right. There's this big ski weekend, isn't it?
Well, you know, when it's freezing and you want to go skiing and celebrate Pride, head out to Whistler in January. Okay, guys, we're going to keep moving to the Edmonton Ambassadors Performers Association. That is a tongue twister, my friends.
That's a non-profit performing arts group that supports a youth and adult program. Anyone is welcome to join this artsy family.
And you know, when you think about a day like this, I'm pretty sure artsy is up there in what you would be thinking about, because people have all this, they've pulled out all the stops here.
There's a lot of creative impulses exploding all over the street at the same time here today.
It's an explosion of arts.
Oh, look at this. We got the choreographed
I think this is definitely a choreographed flag routine. So
absolutely.
Why not?
Absolutely. This is a perfect example of the many hours of preparation that people put into their Pride appearance. It's not just gluing flowers and sparkles onto floats and getting drag queens in drag and putting boys in underwear. But look at this. There's actually choreography involved.
And I would expect nothing less coming from a performers association.
Excellent. Look at that. That looks really nice.
And just the sounds. There's so many different floats with music. There's stages. There's 2 stages down here in Churchill Square. You can really just turn 360 and get a taste of everything.
I'm kind of amazed by the audio overload that I'm experiencing right now from so many different sources of music.
Okay.
Oh, look at this.
The ladies on wheels.
Do you remember in the old days when we used to watch roller derby on TV? Are you too young for that?
I want to say yes, but I would be lying.
You're too young for that.
I am. I'm
You're
just a spring
baby.
chicken when it comes to
all right, well, this is the Eville Roller Derby League, created in 2006 by a group of women wanting to promote active lifestyles and alternative sports for women in Edmonton and surrounding communities. They've participated in the Pride Parade for many, many years, and of course, they're on wheels. Why wouldn't they, right?
Right.
The women in the league have very diverse backgrounds and lifestyles, every one of them. And
so, you know, they love supporting this parade, and they don't only have the rollerblades, they have little guys on bicycles as well.
Oh, look at them, yes.
So they got the training wheels out.
Wheels? Oh, look at that.
Good thing she's got knee pads. Not a big deal. Not a big deal that she fell there.
Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, here's one of my favorite buildings, which is actually right behind me, is the Art Gallery of Alberta. This is a brand new major sponsor for the parade, and this is the 35th anniversary. Will be hosted. The 35th anniversary of Pride will be hosted,
which is next year, I believe.
Art Gallery of Alberta. Well, the event is Our City of Queer Champions, which is happening on June 9th. That's this coming Monday. Check the Pride website and the Art Gallery of Alberta website for details. But not only are they hosting the major events that are involved, but the building is a spectacular piece of architecture, a jewel in the crown of downtown Edmonton. And many fine queer artists have been presented there over the years.
All right, we have the Edmonton Public School Board.
Look
and
at
to
the
kick off
size of
their group, they actually had a sign that said Gay Straight Alliances, which is so critical for
Again,
our
we were
youth
talking
to have
about
in
the
schools.
education of people and just teaching them how people deserve to be treated. The Gay Straight Alliances have been at the forefront of a lot of that to make that kind of thing possible.
The list goes on with the support the Edmonton Public School Board gives. They're committed to supporting sexual and gender minorities amongst students, staff, and family members in their environments, and they support over 20 different Gay Straight Alliances.
Amazing, amazing.
They also hold monthly Gay Straight Alliance discussions, and those are open to any students involved in the GSA. So really, they are covering all the levels of the youth supports, and youth support is so key.
It's so true. Now here's another educational institution, the MacEwan University. Now, this is a visible part of Edmonton's downtown community, partially because of its stunning architectural presence in downtown Edmonton. But they want to support diversity, and most notably the Pride events. Just a little side note, I've actually been teaching gender courses and sexual health courses at Grant MacEwan University for about 20 years, ever since my book first came out, The Edmonton Queen. They've been pulling me in to speak about gender issues, and it's amazing that they were one of the first universities to actually kind of embrace that message and make sure that it's at the core of all their teaching, and to make sure that students in all sorts of different classes actually have access to that message.
And the interest level is probably quite high amongst these eager students to learn so much about the different gender. If I don't recall, university, one of the most popular classes, gender classes.
Absolutely. I think people at that age are just ready to have their lives changed a little bit. They're ready to see a new version of the world, you know?
Molding the minds of the future generations.
And of course, they are also involved in the diversity project that supports LGBTQ students, as well as the Inquiries student group, which I've heard a lot about.
There you are. So if you're a McEwen student,
there's Inquiries right there.
There it is. We speak and they show.
It's so
We're in
true.
sync with our crew here today, Darren.
I've always admired the work
you
that
can
they
never
do.
have enough support. Even though you're done high school, you're in university, you still want that support, and McEwen definitely gives that. One of my favorites, I'll just take the lead here, Camp Firefly. They're the only national leadership retreat for sexual and gender minority youth.
It's true, very cutting edge here in Edmonton. Of course, Edmonton doesn't surprise me when they do something cutting edge, because I've always seen Edmonton as cutting edge.
They hop up there.
It's about time that the rest of Canada realizes how on the forefront of some of these things that we are. Now, the Camp Firefly has been providing counseling and diversity and esteem sessions for youth for quite a few years now, and I've met some of these students that have actually said that it was a very important part of their coming out process and about them coming to terms with their identity. So to be able to provide an inclusive and safe space for people like that are going through things at that age is extremely important.
And what better time to develop leaders than when youth are ready and eager and willing to do so, and Camp Firefly definitely leads the way with that. They're across Canada, so they're a national organization.
It's true, and when you actually empower youth, amazing things happen.
Now, the Edmonton Oilers jersey, actually, I'm sure we'll get a shot at some point. I do believe that's Andrew Ference is here, the captain of the Oilers.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, that was Scrivens, but Andrew Ference, you know, he is here. He is amongst the parade. We might get a shot of him at some point, but that just goes to show you the support that comes out from all Edmontonians, including some of the more famous athletes.
Absolutely, absolutely. I remember when I was a young gay man, it would have been amazing to have a support system like this when I was trying to find my way through the world and trying to figure out who I was.
And there's so many niche environments that need role models and athletes. Who are we kidding? Of course, there's young gay and lesbian athletes who want to have some sort of role models to
and
look
it's
up
been
to.
quite remarkable the amount of gay athletes that we're seeing coming out of the closet in the last few years, isn't it?
Yes, indeed, actually.
That's always been one of those things that the community said when that starts to happen, that's kind of the last wall to fall. And it's actually started to happen now. It's really exciting to be alive and see that happening.
All the progress that's being made. We're going to go to the street level once more. Dana Giesbrecht, who do you have with us now?
Hi guys, I have Danny, who's got a beautiful rainbow painted face today, but the reason I had to stop her was that she is in the parade despite having a broken foot. What did you do?
I was playing roller derby and I broke my ankle.
Oh no. But you wanted to be in the parade regardless of what was happening.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Wonderful. And who are you marching with today?
Grant McEwen's Inquiries.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why did you feel it was so important to, even despite your broken foot, be a part of Pride?
Pride is very important. Very important to me. We've been walking in the parade for about 4 years now. It's absolutely one of my favorite holidays.
Well, I'm glad to see you out, and let's pop that rainbow umbrella. She even brought some sun exposure. Wonderful. Danny, thanks so much for speaking.
Thank you.
I love how she said holidays, Darren, because, you know, a lot of people do take their holidays for these week-long festivities.
Oh, I know people that have planned their vacation around this week, that's for sure.
Exactly.
We're currently looking at some of the folks involved with Norquest College. They feel that the more students identify as LGBTQ, the more important it is for Norquest College to support them.
We
now,
can hardly keep up.
I know, it's so hilarious. They also have many immigrant and refugee students who come from countries where being LGBTQ is a crime, so these resources are so important.
Okay, we're going to bounce on with the
I love to bounce.
See what I
look
did there?
at her.
Okay.
She's getting everybody all riled up.
Now,
91.7 the bounce.
fact here, the bounce was actually the first radio sponsor of Pride festivities in Edmonton back in the day.
I did not know that.
They also changed their station logo to reflect Pride colors during the festivities.
Oh, that's
pretty
kind of wild.
cool. Yeah.
That's like when Google changes their little sketch from the first opening page so that you can actually reflect Pride Week.
And this might be food for thought for you. They dedicate the weekend to kick off the Pride Festival with retro Pride. What's a retro Pride anthem that comes to mind?
What I Am, the disco version. Oh my God, absolutely.
There you go. Respect,
I Will Survive, Respect. Like there's so many good, awesome anthems.
You can't go wrong
Almost
with
every one of them I've seen
throwbacks.
in the drag album, absolutely.
Okay, we have another sponsor coming up here, A Child's Hope.
A Child's Hope is a partner for family picnic. They offer same-sex fostering and adoption, and they welcome all kinds of parents from different cultures and different cultural and religious backgrounds.
And adoption is huge, especially within the community for people who want to raise a family.
Yeah, it's another one of the things that we had to overcome too, as a community that was looking to be treated equally, was the right to put your name forward to start your own family.
There's nothing more equal than raising a family, I would say, and having that opportunity.
It's so true. Here we have the people from Boyle Street Community Services down in the inner city core. Now, the Boyle Street Community Services have made significant program changes over the past few years to better support LGBTQ homeless people. They have a non-profit inner city Edmonton agency that helps people challenged by homelessness, poverty, and addiction. They find that people grew healthier through involvement in accepting and respectful communities. And it's true, there are a lot of people who end up out on the street because of circumstances beyond their control, sometimes kicked out of their homes as youngsters and living on the street.
Unfortunately, that is a sad reality for some people.
So it's definitely good that the Boyle Street Community Center is there in the inner city downtown core to make sure that those people don't fall through the cracks.
Moving on, we have a Dalmatian who's representing the Edmonton John Howard Society. Now, if you're wondering what the society is, well, they are a new entry to the parade this year, and they help people with finding housing, finding employment, finding other community services. They're a resource center, and they definitely love supporting the community.
That's amazing. Look at, I'm just kind of blown away by the amount, the sheer scope of the organizations that are involved in Pride this year. It used to be just, you know, the drag organizations, some of the community organizations, and some of the gay bars, and now we're seeing this sort of slice across the diverse center of the city and all the people that are happening in every possible sort of program.
Passing by us now is the Goodwill Industries of Alberta. Also a new entries, lots of new entries. They were founded in 1902 in good old Boston, and they were all about the hand up, not handout philosophy. And they actually have been in Edmonton since 1950. What they do, they help people with disabilities find meaningful employment.
And I gotta say, when I was a young drag queen, almost all my excellent outfits, I found at Goodwill. I'm
there
serious.
You are.
It was the best place for a young drag queen to go shopping.
It was a hand up, it was not a handout, my
Exactly. I paid good money for those outfits.
Okay, we are coming up on a few new floats, and we're going to go to, I'm just going to say it, the Gayborhood, the Oliver Community League, otherwise known as the Gayborhood, and they've been in this parade for 10 plus years.
Now, both of their boards have solid representation from the community. That's the Oliver Community League and the Downtown Community League. We also have the Today Family Violence Help Center. This is another new entry in the parade this year for the first time. Their services include short-term support for adults dealing with family violence. They want folks in the LGBTQ community to know they are there for support if they need them.
Exactly, and there's some real issues that need attention, and family violence is obviously one of those. So any resource centers like the Today Family Violence Help Center, love it. You need to have those.
Well, and again, when people fall through the cracks, there needs to be a support system for them.
Okay, guys, we have the dedicated, designated drivers. They call themselves the Triple Ds, if you ever want to say it nice and speedy.
Another new entry.
They thought participating in such a huge week of celebrations would be great as a refresher for people to remember that if you're partying, you're out late, you don't want to be driving, you call Triple Ds. They will get you home.
It's so amazing. No idea. People have no idea how important this service is. How many lives this has saved. It sounds like such a simple thing in theory, but people are alive because of this service.
Yeah,
just because somebody cares enough to help.
We would be foolish to think drunk driving doesn't happen here in Edmonton and all around Canada. So services like this help combat that.
Absolutely. So keep that in mind for all of your Pride partying needs. Absolutely.
All right, I don't know if you're a animal lover, Darren, but I love my dogs. I love my kitties. And we have the Humane Animal Rescue Team here. Wow.
I told you there would be rainbow dogs, didn't I? I told you.
Tutus again.
Look at, you love the tutus.
Right?
You totally love
the dogs and the tutus. Okay. The Humane Animal Rescue Team, and for them, the parade is about celebrating Edmonton's diversity. It's quite simple.
Harmony for all cultures, backgrounds, and furry animals is important to them. The diversity strengthens their organization, and they want to show their support by participating in this year's event.
And you gotta love their condensed version of their name, Heart. That kind of summarizes it all, especially when you see the dog. I wonder what those dogs are thinking.
I don't know. Those dogs are thinking,
you think
wow.
they're on a kibble hunt, or they're gonna get some rainbow
some rainbow cookies at the end of this, or are they just soaking up the love? Because dogs feel that love, right? They feel that love.
They do.
Look at them all.
And you know, nothing like a hit, especially with all the kids on the streets. I'm sure they love to see the little doggies.
Some of these dogs are going to get a lot of pets at the end of this. What a nice float. Is this their first year? I don't think it is. Oh my goodness. I've never seen this float before, so I'm really impressed.
I love it. They've obviously put a lot of time and effort into that when they had their rainbow tractor trailer get up.
Here's someone that we know well, the McDougall United Church, which is a long-time supporter of all the Pride events and the queer community in Edmonton. The Unitarian, McDougall United Church's message is absolutely clear. They welcome everyone, period. They've been participating in the parade itself for 10 plus years.
It's lovely to see so many religious support groups because really, religion's such a personal thing, and so is the community itself in which you participate in. So to know that you're welcome, it's just such a refreshing message for everybody.
And as an artist, I got to say, McDougall United Church has put its venue, this beautiful building, the church on McDougall Drive. They've actually put it forward as an arts venue several times. There's been fringe plays there. There's been musicals about organists in churches there. I went and saw Philip Glass perform there. It's also used as a beautiful music center. So
it's a landmark.
The amount of love that comes out of that building, whether it's through the sheer spiritual energy or through the music, is just fascinating.
And 10 plus years, you can only imagine the scope of change in a decade.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, Vanity, she's sitting by with a mama who's proud. Let's hear from her, Vanity.
Who are you here supporting, and why is it important to be here?
I'm here supporting Sarah. My daughter's also in the parade supporting Sarah. I just think that we need to come together as one people, no matter what race, gender, I don't care, but call to come together as one and support each other.
Is this your first Pride Parade?
No, my second.
Oh, second. You're a veteran already. Awesome. Thank you. Have a good day. Back to you guys.
I'm struck every time I see Vanity. I think she looks so amazing with that hair.
Yeah,
it's epic. It's like a giant tidal wave of glamour.
10 minutes, it gets like 10 minutes to get ready for drag.
Oh God, no, it takes hours. Here's the thing, if I was doing what she's doing today, I'd be like makeup sweating down my face. I would look a mess. She's holding it together beautifully.
And I mean, it's everything. It's the heels, it's the dress, it's the glitter, and also just the vibrancy of her personality.
Oh, there we have the St. Paul's United Church going by, the St. Albert United Church.
Lots of churches, which is great to show that the religious scope is quite large with their support here. As everyone eagerly claps and awaits the floats and groups that go by.
There's a nice shot of the crowd.
I wonder what the tally is now of the crowd.
I don't know. It looks huge, doesn't it?
Today. It just keeps growing.
Look at the kids waving.
It's a rainbow explosion. Okay, guys, who doesn't love a fire truck?
I love a good fire truck.
Right, the hoses. I don't know if the hoses will come out today. It's a little chilly, but we have the lovely fire trucks.
I want them to blow their siren. Their siren.
I'm sure you'll get a toot or two, especially if someone prompts them. That's got to be fun, for people who see sometimes not the best parts of life. You get to have a celebration today like this for them to participate in.
Nice.
We love all our firefighters, men and women across the city.
I was watching Modern Family the other night, and there was a scene where a gay wedding was interrupted by a forest fire, and the firemen came in, and the organizer of the wedding said, "I have all your calendars." I love your work.
The calendars, a token of many firefighting departments. Here's Dana with an interview.
Okay, I have Brad with the Pride Parade with me here, and you've been keeping the traffic moving. The floats are going at a really good pace. How would you describe your position today and how important it is?
It's a super easy position, but it's super extra important as well. I've got to keep the floats going, and as you see, everybody's having a great time. So come on down, go till 8:30, have a great time. Just support all your gay and lesbian friends.
Awesome. How long have you been involved with Pride Edmonton?
This is my first year actually, and great time already. Been here since 9. It's been great. They've been taking care of us. Really good time.
Why did you decide to get involved this year?
My friends dragged me along.
But it's probably the best thing they've ever dragged you to.
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. Brad, thanks so much for all your hard work. And now we have some marching bands coming by, guys.
Thank you, Dana and Brad. Okay, I'm really excited. This is a first-time
awesome.
entry. It's the Edmonton Police Service with Pipe and Drum Corps. You're going to hear the sounds from them. They look stunning in their uniforms.
What would a parade be without the bagpipe drum?
Honestly, when I think parade, I'm thinking that snare drum going. The pipes and drums of the Edmonton Police Service are proud representatives of the city of Edmonton. They have a story past dating back to 1914. The band provides music and goodwill to the citizens of Edmonton and surrounding communities and beyond. So these guys spread the joy of music far beyond just Edmonton.
Yeah, it's so true.
And I love to see the uniform representation. You have the firefighters, you have the police officers, and they truly do support equity and human rights.
Now, are these the Edmonton Transit Peace Officers here that we're following?
I would venture to say we're getting
I think
close.
we're sort of merging into them.
The floats are whipping by, so
it's hard to keep up.
If we followed the float Bible that we have here, yes, I think you're right. We're wrapping up with the Pipe and Drum Corps, and we have the Edmonton Transit Peace Officers.
Okay, and I've been told that I should ask you where you parked your car, because you might get a ticket if they find your car.
Oh, heavens, please, I took the LRT.
Good for you.
Right? Hop on the
Smart.
train. It's nice and easy to get downtown.
Now, Transit Peace Officers are highly trained, skilled professionals. They are on patrol in uniform throughout our transit system 24/7, 365 days a year, actively promoting order maintenance and disorder prevention.
And
they take care of us all when we're getting from place to place.
You can only imagine the population of traffic that goes through our trains and the transit system. So these guys are really important. So grateful to have them in the parade. And I just love that they're having such a good time.
Keeping it orderly and safe. Now we have the United Churches of Edmonton, who are publicly advocating for full inclusion of the LGBTQ community since 1988.
Okay, and there they go, and onwards to the Westwood Unitarian, and they have been participating for 10+ years. A lot of these groups have been in the parade for so many decades, including this one. They have a welcoming congregation that explores issues of gender and sexual diversity, and they have an annual Pride Sunday service. So if you want a little love, you can head on over to the Westwood Unitarian.
Well, and the Unitarian churches are very well represented here. Here's the Unitarian Church of Edmonton, and I believe my very first same-sex wedding ceremony that I performed in back in the 80s before it was legal, I actually did piano for one at the Unitarian Church. So they've been at the forefront of Edmonton's queer rights for a long time. They are proudly welcomed and supported the LGBTQ communities for over 40 years. They believe it's important for people of faith to stand for equality. They performed same-sex unions since the 1970s.
Wow.
Even before they were allowed to call marriage.
Not even born.
You were not even born then. They've sponsored gay-friendly dances back when there were very few safe places for the LGBTQ community to gather. They have been at the forefront of the diversity and inclusion since the beginning of this city.
And there is no exaggeration with the safe places that never used to exist, even here in Edmonton.
It's true. Oh, look, someone not in our Bible. We have the Edmonton Raging Grannies supporting the Pride.
Welcome,
Yay,
the Grannies, indeed.
Oh, my granny would be proud. I miss her so much. She would have loved this parade.
Okay.
And here,
ladies and gentlemen, let me announce the official Mr. Gay Canada. His name is Christopher Wee, and he is having the time of his life.
Is he ever? Look at him working it up to the cameras. He's an actor, TV host, model, and entrepreneur in Asia. I actually got to meet him at the Jasper Pride this year, the 5th anniversary. He's going to be representing Canada at the Mr. Gay World 2014 competition in Rome, Italy. Oh, I got to run for that.
That's
you get to go to Rome.
Deal. That is a big deal.
Anyway, he plans to travel to prides all throughout Canada, basically being a visible ambassador for our community, which is very exciting.
And I've been told he's a very polite fellow who likes to chat and has lots of positive things to say. So if you see Christopher Wee in the crowd, say hello.
There you go. Now here's someone, I'm surprised how dressed they are actually, because this is the Making Waves Swim Club.
I'm digging it, like the moves.
They're digging into the feral music. Look at them go. Now, the Making Waves Swim Club provides a safe and accepting space for all people to enjoy the sport of swimming, my favorite sport, dedicated to advancing the participation of gays and lesbians in the aquatic sports of swimming and water polo. They have more than 40 members, and they welcome everybody. And oh, Dana has managed to track down one of the Raging Grannies.
She has a Raging Granny. Dana, what's the Raging Granny have to say?
Yes, I am here with Audrey with the Raging Grannies, and I wasn't sure at first what the Raging Grannies actually stood for. Audrey, tell us a little bit about the Raging Grannies, your organization.
Well, the Raging Grannies started out in Vancouver with a bunch of university students who were protesting student fee increases, and it snowballed. It's now in the United States and Canada. They're going to be having an unconvention in Montreal in a little while with over 100 and some people attending. We sing songs of social protest, and we're allies. We're allies for all the GLBTQ people, and some of us work with GLBTQ youth.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for all of your hard work, and it's lovely to see you marching in the parade today.
Once again, showing all the different ages and people that are involved.
Stole
and
the
you know
words
what?
out of my mouth.
When grannies are asking for something, people listen to grannies.
Oh, grannies don't mess around. If grandma's gonna make cookies, she gonna make cookies? She gonna wash and pray? She gonna walk in the parade?
Exactly.
And here they are. Now we're just cruising along here, Darren. We have 80 floats. We are already almost on 50. So I mean, we are just flying. Once the parade starts, it goes quick.
Another beautiful shot of the crowd here, soaking up all the ambience. The clouds have come out a little bit, which means it's cooling off ever so slightly.
Okay, we have okay, EMS. You gotta love EMS, the Alberta Health Services. They, you know, one of their strongest values is respect, and they have a number of policies that work to provide health quality for all Albertans, and they are a discrimination-free workplace.
And they look pretty snazzy in those black uniforms too.
Yes,
I gotta say.
indeed. They're off duty today, obviously, to participate in the parade, but we are so grateful for all the services they provide.
Again, another group of people just making it safe for us to live in Edmonton and go about our lives in a beautiful way.
Sometimes we take it for granted just how safe we are.
We're so lucky in Canada, aren't we? We're so privileged.
They even have a little mascot here, a pooch. Who doesn't love a doggy mascot?
Is that a doggy?
Oh, we got your sirens, Darren. We've got your sirens.
Excellent.
They've got a paramedic van or truck with them that's flashing their lights. I'm sure we'll see a shot of that any moment here.
This really is here. Alexa and I are flying above the street level right now, like we do.
Yes, we are taking flight once more.
We are actually filled with helium today. That's how this is all happening.
And there goes the trusty EMS mobile with its lights guiding the way.
Oh, and here's one we've been waiting for since the beginning here.
It's the Alberta Rockies Gay Rodeo Association. Yes, it is a gay rodeo, and it is in the Alberta Rockies.
And it's true. This rodeo started quite a few years ago, and it's become quite famous around the world now. This is one of Alberta's largest gay organizations. They've seen the Pride Parade turn from a protest for rights to a celebration of the rights we all have, which is a beautiful statement. All members compete in under whatever title they feel most comfortable with, gay, lesbian, whatever. Now, of course, they have a huge event coming up right away, which is this year's Gay Rodeo and Musical Festival, which is June 27th to 29th. So if you're free at the end of June, head down to Strathmore. Take your tent, take your motorhome, take your pup tent, whatever it is, and head out to Strathmore for a hoot and toot and romp and stomp and good time.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that you probably really like the shots that we're seeing here.
There's nothing wrong with that shot.
We have a lovely lad on top of a horse, and you know what? He's got angel wings. Why not?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay.
See, just because you're a cowboy doesn't mean you can't be glamorous.
So, guys, if you're looking around the crowd and you see the little flags, they're compliments of Winners Home
It's
Sense.
so true. Everyone's got one that needs one. And let's see. Winners,
they are actually one of the largest
They
entries.
have a big group with them today. So, and they have actually been, we've been sending people over there all day to get flags so that they can wave them.
I wonder if they have enough, because we have sent quite a few droves of people their way, but I'm sure they're welcoming everyone and handing out mini flags.
Well, we had a whole stack of them here, but all the little kids that kept coming up to us and going, "Can we have a flag?" You don't want to say no to a little kid, right?
No, and you gotta love the effort they put in these dancing balloons.
Look at those. Those are pretty.
Winners Home Sense.
I could make the most amazing outfit out of those balloons.
Yes, you could. Wrap yourself up in some balloons and take off.
Well, and shopping carts, of course, a part of every parade, because ultimately, sometimes you just get tired of walking.
Yeah, especially when you get the kiddies, you know, this guy's just taking the load off.
Yeah, I jumped in a shopping cart once and my butt actually got stuck in a shopping cart, so it wasn't a good scene. But oh, now here we have the Women's Space float. Now, Women's Space, this is apparently one of Alberta's, if not Canada's, oldest women's lesbians organizations. They love participating in the event that so many organizations around the world aren't able to freely do so. They are a social and recreational group serving the community, but they actually began as a reaction to when the gay bars started to happen in Edmonton. There was not a really welcoming, safe space for the women of the queer community. And so they started Women's Space to basically create a non-judgmental, pro-female space where they could just be themselves.
Okay, we're going to head down. We're going to switch things up. We're actually going to chat with Vanity Fair. Vanity, how's it going?
Hi guys, I'm standing here with members of the Imperial Sovereign Court of the Wild Rose. It's Alberta's longest running non-profit charity organization in Alberta, correct? Can you tell us a little bit about what the court does in Edmonton's gay community?
We raise money for the LGBTQ community through various fundraising events and charitable events, including drag shows. And our 4 charities this year are the Canadian Cancer Society, the Pride Centre of Edmonton, Camp Firefly, and the Alzheimer's Society of Canada.
All very worthwhile causes. Thank you, Kari. And Ian, thanks guys. Back to you.
You know all about
the Imperial Sovereign Court of the Wild Rose is part of where I got my start as a drag queen in Edmonton. Of course, Vanity Fair is Empress 37. Ian is actually layaway, and this is the first Pride in years where I haven't seen him in a giant Las Vegas headdress. So I was kind of surprised to see him dressed as a boy today.
He's toning it down. He's toning it down.
Oh, we have another underwear float. You can never have too many of those.
I mean, really, they're fancy underwear. Who doesn't love it? These guys are from the Briefing Room, which is actually on White Avenue. They are a very community-minded business, and they donate auctions and gift items to groups like Camp Firefly and the Imperial Sovereign Court.
I'm kind of glad you took that little speech because I was a little speechless just for a minute. I was a little distracted.
Having a moment there,
I was totally distracted. Well, the scenery's looking pretty good here on
these guys don't look like they work out at all.
No,
I mean, really, they gotta get in the gym.
Never been to the gym. Come on, Buck.
If you're gonna walk around in underwear, you gotta put on some muscle.
Now here we have another great organization on White Avenue, the Traveling Tickle Trunk. They are all about happy and healthy sex. They provide a safe space for people to be themselves and explore curiosities without judgment. Now they started as a home party company in 2003, opened their first store on White Avenue in 2009. This is their 6th year in the parade. And they are also, I believe, one of the sponsors of the Queer History Bus Tour, which I'm going to be hosting. If you come on the South Side Tour on the Tuesday, we actually do a little stop for refreshments at the Traveling Tickle Trunk.
Now I know many of you may think queer history and buses, how do they meet in life? But Darren will show you all about it and tell you all about it,
Michael
I'm sure.
Fair and I actually host a Queer History Bus Tour that takes you all around Edmonton to sort of see the sites and the spots where important events that have happened in the queer history of Edmonton have actually occurred. And it's a great way to get a real sort of a wide version of the struggle of our community. And that'll be happening next Monday and Tuesday.
Okay, we're going to head back down with the lovely Dina Giesbrecht. She has another interview on Street Level.
Hey, okay guys, I have found one of the Briefing Room's models. This is Barron's. How are you enjoying Pride today?
I'm doing pretty good right now. It's a different type of atmosphere out here, a lot of energy. I don't even feel the rain, so hot.
No, it has officially started to rain. I'm sure you can see this on camera. It looks like the crowds are getting under their umbrellas. So what's your plan being only in underwear to survive?
I'm just gonna dance, like a lot. Yeah, I'm just gonna just to loosen the hips up, get the body heat going,
All right. Well, I hope Alexa and Darren, you guys are staying dry under the hosting tent. I'm gonna go find some shelter. Back to you guys. Thanks, Barron.
Yeah, thank you.
She's got to keep that hair looking fabulous.
Well, hey, let me tell you, the weather changes, but the vibes are still bright and well underway here during the Pride Parade. We have the Royal Bank of Canada, a major part of the parade, and they serve a diverse community of clients, and of course, they want to show their support.
Nice. Nice.
They got that little lion guy.
Again, it sort of says a lot about how far the movement has come when
you see a bank like the Royal
banks like this start being involved. Yeah, it's so beautiful to see.
And we're going to keep things going with the Service Credit Union.
Excellent.
And the Service Credit Union, there it is, an opportunity for everyone to come together and celebrate as one. And last year was their first year. They couldn't get enough, so they're back for round 2. They've also participated in the Calgary Pride Parade. Safe to say they're hooked.
Oh, you know what? I expect to see them in Jasper next March
Come
for the
on
Jasper
down,
Pride.
Service Credit Union.
Oh, our tent has suddenly become a little bit of a haven for people that are ducking out of the quick little rainstorm.
But it's funny, we're in Alberta, so if it's raining now, wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Now here we have the Altview Foundation. Now Altview celebrates the achievements that the community has made over the decades. They serve all members of the community in Strathcona County. They support gay-straight alliances in county schools with community liaison workers, and they are a very active community organization.
And once again, okay, I'll let you take the reins. I'll let you take the reins.
My girls. That's probably Daisy Chain, the reigning empress. I can't actually tell which one is which from here. Oh, she's the one with the red wig and the tallest crown. Her emperor, Jeffy Lube. Now, the Imperial Sovereign Court of the Wild Rose is a drag society, a monarchist society that actually elects an emperor and empress every year that act as ambassadors of goodwill for Edmonton's community, and they take that message out to all the communities around North America in different balls. They bring awareness of various community groups. They've been doing fundraisers for charities for 38 years. When the AIDS crisis hit, it was the Imperial Sovereign Court of the Wild Rose that stepped forward and started raising the first money to create hospices and support grassroots efforts to help people living with HIV. They do big drag show fundraisers, and they have a huge event coming up in August where Daisy Chain and Jeffy Lube, the current reigning emperor and empress, will be stepping down for the last day of their career.
Huge supporters of the community. Okay, we have more ladies on wheels, and they're derbying their way up the street. It's the Oil City Derby Girls. Oil City all the way with these gals, and many members are from the LGBTQ community. And of course, they have several different teams that accept all genders of the community. So if you're looking for a nice spin on the derby scene, why don't you give these guys a call? It's Oil City Derby Girls.
That's awesome.
People are not afraid of the rain, let me tell you. We're tough in Alberta.
We're tough.
This
it
is
gets
no big
snow.
deal.
Not that it will, and not that I want it to,
Honestly,
but it could.
In another 20 minutes, it'll be blazing hot and sunny. We're all good downtown.
Here we go. We have two one-way tickets to Broadway Productions.
And
this
they
is
are
a local semi-professional theater company here in town. And in fact, I was just reading something about them today, and I can't remember what it was. I was reading in the paper today. There was a big story about them.
And they don't shy away from musical that includes gay storylines or content, so they're very open-minded with their performances.
Absolutely. And ultimately, the arts community here in Edmonton is a very strong one. It's always been a very safe and protected and diverse place for the queer artists in town to be able to be a part of.
Working for Shaw TV, we have done a story with Fable. They are a wonderful entertainment group, and their message is pretty clear. It's fashion and dance are for everyone. So they are making a statement with their, I want to say, pixie fairy attire.
Fable glitter bubbles.
I don't know where the bubbles comes into play, but
sounds like an album that I want to put out someday or something.
a future album for Darren Hagen.
There we go.
Thank you, Fable.
It'll be bubblegum.
And you know what? If we can handle the rain, these girls, if they're handling it, we can handle it. Let me tell you, they're just having a time dancing down the streets. And you know what? It's hard to imagine, but they're actually the 64th float. We have seen 64 floats gone by. We are approaching.
Time is just whizzing by. I gotta say, the colors look really nice on the wet pavement, actually.
They're
look how
vibrant.
It lights up. It's like a video game now.
Well, you know that overcast glow always looks great on TV, and we can see that here now. Okay.
The Fable Glitter Girls know how to throw together a
Jazz
party.
up
Look
the
at
camera.
that. Yeah.
Why not? If you're on the street and you see a camera, why not give it some love? That's what I like
rule
to
number
see.
one if you're a drag queen. If you see a camera, it's for me. Yeah, you stop, you give them whatever you want.
We got that could be her real hair. I'm gonna say it's a wig. I don't know.
Safe to say the lime green's probably a wig. I actually have that.
She was born that way. And the dancing continues. Really, rain or shine, we're dancing. So we have another truck with the trailer load. I'm gonna say it is.
Yeah,
they have brought out a large squad here.
A lot of people here.
Lots of girls with the common theme of skirts and
little tutu type things.
Little glitter tops.
And brightly colored wigs. Oh, here we go with the Fellowship of Alberta Bears. Now, this is the only bear group in Alberta. Now, you might think that in Alberta, we know a lot about our bears, because we got mountains, we got grizzly.
We got a few bears.
This is a different kind of bear. Now, this is the primarily gay, queer, bi men's community group. And a bear, of course, in case you haven't figured it out, is a large, hairy man who has an image of rugged masculinity.
All right.
I think I've turned into a bear over the years. Wouldn't you say that?
You can handle the bear theme. I like it.
No problem. Created in 2008, they have raised over $17,000 for local charities, including HIV Edmonton, Camp Firefly, Queer Prom, and others like it.
Lots of support for different agencies from groups like the Alberta Bears. And
well, and I got to say, one of the things about our community proving that we're ready to embrace diversity is to embrace diversity within our community. So, you know, the gay scene is no longer just about the twink with a six-pack anymore. There's actually a wide variety of interests and body types and people out there, and there's room for every one of them in our community.
And I think it's just important for people to come together, like you said, within the community itself, because like-minded people, same interests, you want to bond. Why not? The Bears have done it. You can do it too. Coming up, we have some sort of divine wines and spirits.
I'll have a drink.
Okay, and they're probably pretty straightforward. They like to celebrate, and they have lots of wine to do so. They have gone above and beyond with the truck decorating, and I'm sure they're rocking some nice beats in the back with those speakers.
I'm kind of getting a really cool costume idea from the fact that their tinsel has gotten a little wet and blown into that pattern.
And another radio station. It's awesome to see the involvement. It's Fresh FM 925 Fresh FM.
Look at that costume.
Wow.
That green makeup is amazing.
It really is. Is that the Wicked Witch of the something?
I'm not sure it's the Wicked Witch of the something. That's absolutely. All I know is I've tried to do makeup like that. It ain't easy to make it look that good. That's pretty fun.
And Fresh FM is actually going to be announcing along the parade route, and it's a great compliment for the parade. They're the 90s station for radio in Edmonton. So if you want to jam to a little Alanis, some old school 90s, throw on Fresh.
See, okay, the fact that someone your age is saying old school about the 90s makes me just kind of feel like I'm an old man.
No.
Hey, I hear Vanity's got someone important to talk to. Should we go check it out?
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
All right, guys, I'm here with two lovely queens from the production show Wicked. Can you tell us a little bit about the show, when it's going to be in Edmonton, and how you're involved, I guess?
I think it's the first week of July that it's going to be here. Fresh FM asked us to promote, and we love the musical. I can't wait to go for the first time, and heard many good things about it, so I'm more than happy to promote it. Yeah.
I'm going to let you keep walking, because if this green paint starts dripping, girl, you're going to be in trouble.
I'm going to be melting.
Thanks, ladies. Back to you guys.
That's one of the dangers of being in glamour, in drag, out in the weather.
I hope she got some waterproof green on. Now we have the Intuit, and they are a sponsor of the parade, and they're a financial company that was founded in 1983. And they actually have an Intuit Pride Network, and that is to tap into the unrealized potential of all employees of every background, and they also are under the Bring Their Whole Selves to Work umbrella.
Nice. Now, this is proof of commitment to supporting a full range of diversity in the workplace.
Oh yes, and this is the 9th consecutive time they've gotten a 100% rating on the Human Rights Campaign Corporate Equality Index.
Excellent.
So they are all about the human rights at Intuit.
Here we have some members of the Evolution Wonderland, which is the newest gay bar, queer bar to be in Edmonton's scene.
They opened up in September
Opened up by
2013.
Rob Rodsick, who is a friend of mine. Now they pride themselves on being the business that celebrates the diverse community. They opened in September, that's right. Community Tuesdays, partnership with Women's Space, the ISCWR, the Pride Center, HIV Edmonton. The Fruit Loop is a popular event that they take part of. I've never heard of the Fruit Loop. Do you know what that is? Sounds fun.
It's a collection of beers with the Fruit Loop flavor going on.
Oh, really?
Not flavor specific, but that's just how they bring people together. It's the Fruit Loop.
So it's an excuse to drink beer.
You know what it is.
I'm not judging.
You don't need an excuse usually.
Exactly.
We
It's
have
always a good time
and
to drink beer.
Evolution is just going crazy.
Holy
with
crap, they have a lot of people here, don't they?
I want to say it's a wolf. It could just be a creature. Well, I like the creature.
Foxy. You got the Foxy.
And these guys aren't cold, you know, because the weather has shifted. Good old, typical Edmonton with the crazy
it's so
weather.
true.
But the guys are still dancing and the girls are still dancing and everyone's still hanging out.
You know, dance,
So
keep warm.
show the support.
Absolutely.
The crowd has not thinned, even though the weather has took a turn. So the Evolution Wonder Bar has another tractor-carried float.
Oh, down here.
And this is actually a really neat association. It's the National Gay Pilots Association.
I had never heard of this until today. This is awesome. Now they're supporting the global gay aviation community. Now, you know, queer people like to fly a lot, don't they? To encourage members of the community to become pilots, it's a welcoming career, and they like to create a professional and social network for all LGBTQ aviators. And now, here we have Shaw Communications. Now, you're not going to brag about Shaw because you work for Shaw.
Oh, yeah,
You think that would be conflict of interest. I don't work for Shaw, so I can brag about Shaw. Here's what I'm really thrilled about. This is the first time in the parade's 34-year history that there's actually been a TV station willing to step up to the plate and broadcast the entire thing and give it the place of prominence that it deserves on Edmonton television. I think that's a really exciting and wonderful landmark in our Pride history, and it's going to be something that's been talked about for a long while.
And here's a weather shot.
Yeah, there you go.
As
Guess
you
what,
can
kids?
see.
It might be raining men. We haven't quite decided yet.
They are definitely teaming down here, and you can see that they're still marching on.
Well, these outfits all actually look really good in the wind, don't they?
And who doesn't love a nice cup of warm coffee, especially after the rain that's coming down?
Exactly.
It's Starbucks, our lovely friends at Starbucks, and like I said, who doesn't love them? And they are also a sponsor in the parade. And
Starbucks has kept me alive through many a rehearsal period when I'm trying to sort of go for that 11th hour of keeping working. It's always due to Starbucks that I actually make it through there.
So when you're battling the rain and you want to warm up, I'm sure Starbucks will do that for you.
Okay, now the rain is really coming down. We're not going to get electrocuted here, are we? We're totally going to get, are we? No?
You know, it's funny. You can see it on the lens, the drops. I got this coat on.
Okay, well, this is what's wild. We're huddled, and there's wind, and there's people jumping on our tent. And at the same time, I'm looking across and seeing the Euro bungee, and there's little kids in the pouring rain bouncing up and down like they're having the time of their lives.
You know, I think it's safe to say, Darren, this has all happened within about 20 minutes. It went from a lovely spring day full of sun, and now it looks like a mini tornado.
Well, there was a risk of thunderstorms, and here we find that there's the risk.
And they decided to come nice and early during
When I'm looking at the long shot, I'm seeing the beautiful outfits floating in the window. That's always a nice thing.
Luckily, this is all happening towards the end because we are on the organic box. It's also sponsoring volunteer food, which is very important for our volunteers to be fed and taken care of. They're family-owned and operated business. And they actually have an alternative food system where local and organic food and the environment are priorities.
Nice.
So they're really forefronts with the local community food initiative.
And this is a new entry for the Pride Parade this year, isn't it?
As you can see through the drops, they have a lovely fruit truck.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
That is quite cute.
That's totally cute. I'm digging the double entendre.
So they actually are another new entry. There's quite a lot of new entries in this parade this year, Darren, which is such a nice thing.
It's beautiful. Now we have Team Edmonton, and they are making the best of this weather by showing off these fabulous winged outfits. They are a great community organization. They're an LGBTQ group that focuses on the importance of health as it relates to sports and recreation. Currently, there are almost 30 different sports and rec activities put on by Team Edmonton. I'm actually on their newsletter subscription, and I can't believe the amount of work that they do. They actually work very hard to promote Edmonton's participation in national and international LGBTQ sporting events, including the gay games when it counts.
Those the gay games. They usually have an outstanding float full of music, color,
and look, this is no exception
dancing.
This year. Look at them go. They're the ones that are choreographed.
they definitely do go above and beyond when it comes to the entertainment value on their floats. And we have the dancing ladies with the capes, the golden capes. You gotta hand it to these guys.
Oh, look at them go!
It's pouring rain right now.
And they're dancing like it's Saturday night.
You can fill up a cup with water in minutes. I mean, they're still forging on,
but the show must go on.
It definitely does. I'm sure you've been in that situation once or twice.
Totally. Performing in the rain is just something that you accept if you live in Edmonton.
Yeah. There it is.
Oh, there's a close-up of our weather. There we go.
And there's the float.
Look at them go.
Regardless of the rainfall, the dance, the party, it continues. And Churchill Square is still continuing too. I mean, the stage is still booming.
That's true. People are ducking for cover, but they're not leaving the site.
So let's just pray to the rainbow gods. Please pass the rain and the weather.
What's going to happen is as soon as the sun comes back out, we're going to have a spectacular rainbow, which I guess is kind of fitting, isn't it?
Would that
be nice?
I would really enjoy seeing that myself.
If it would time it for the end of our little presentation here, that would be so awesome.
So we're still looking at Team Edmonton. They're quite a large group.
Involved. Yeah.
And they have all the flags and colors of the rainbow. And rainbow, actually, I don't know off the top of my head, what does the rainbow represent when it comes to the community?
The rainbow represents the diversity of the community, basically. Okay. I'm not quite sure past
that. All the color scope, it's just everyone in there and everyone together.
And it's a symbol of hope and love and joy. So we adopted that as our insignia.
And okay, so we have a little street side.
Well, I want to find out how both those glamorous girls are doing with that hair.
I wonder if they found some sort of cover.
Let's
Vanity and Dana, how you doing?
Hey guys, so we're kind of big babies, and well, Vanity's excuse is that hair cannot, rain.
And my face, never mind the hair.
It'd be destroyed. So we've taken coverage under a Shaw umbrella, and I'm looking at Jen, who's on camera right now, and even the camera lens is wet. However, as you can see, it looks like the whole crowd is just loving it.
Yeah, the rain doesn't seem to be dampening any spirits. Did you guys see Team Edmonton giving it their all on that float?
I know. I was worried that someone was going to slip and fall off of that float, but thankfully everyone seems to be safe despite the weather. And the cars coming by right now, definitely honking a storm up. I think, have we almost reached the end of the parade? Just a few floats left.
I think things are wrapping up soon, so people can run for cover.
How have you enjoyed your first time as a roving reporter with us on Shaw TV today?
It's been an awesome experience. Emotional, as always. I knew I was going to be emotional today, but it's been amazing.
I haven't seen any tears yet.
Well, the lashes have to stay on all day, so.
By the end of the show, and you have how many wardrobe changes throughout the day?
Oh, 3 or 4 more. And 5 hours on the main stage. Hopefully the rain stops here pretty quick.
You're going to kill it. Well, it's been fantastic talking to Edmontonians with you today, and I think we still have a couple more floats to go. Darren and Alexa, it's back to you guys.
Great to see all that fabulous hair is protected from the weather.
She has it under control, let me tell you.
We missed seeing the Polyamory Edmonton, but they were there celebrating the diversity in family relationships. And we also have the Bicyclists, which is a brand new group formed in 2013.
So witty.
Now, they wanted to create a space where bisexual identified individuals could meet and socialize. They all love bicycling, and the pun fit great. The members are generally all active members of the queer community.
And they're just going around full speed on those pedals.
Dana was asking Vanity if she cried. I was going to say, nobody ever cries when you're wearing that much makeup on. It's just too dangerous. It's just all that work undone in seconds, you know?
Exactly, but the emotions are there, and I'm sure Vanity, she'll feel that even more when she's emceeing later. But up next, we have Astral.
Ooh,
it's the Astral Harvest Music Festival, and that's going to be upcoming here soon. And actually, an old school little word, plur. And
what does that mean?
Plur means, back in the day, and they're keeping it alive, plur means peace, love, unity, and respect.
I should have known that.
So there it is, guys. Plur, they're in their 7th season of the musical festival, and it started as a small community-based event with a few hundred people, and now they have almost 2,000. So the music festival blew up for Astral, and they wanted to be a part of this day.
Beautiful, and they've actually started talking about having mini drag performances within the festival from now on. Now we have Yasser Akhtar, which is a film productions company, loud and proud about who they are. They're a singer, actor, and director. And they're out here identifying as part of our community, born brave, the truck says.
I like it.
Yeah, very nice.
That works well.
Well,
born
as
brave.
an artist in this town, you sort of have to be able to put your life forward like that, because your life is your art, and ultimately your art has to reflect that diversity.
You can't really 50% your art career, can you?
No. Art is hard to do halfway. It's so true.
So they've definitely embraced the theme they're going for. I'm going to say angels.
There you go. There's a lot of white going on.
Bringing their love to Edmonton with the trailer situation. Lots of trailers, as you can see. The water's probably pooling. I'm glad they're not in stilettos. I don't want any injuries. I don't want people to put on their rainbow helmets.
Yes. Here we have the Society of Edmonton Atheists. Now, they are supportive of everyone living the life the way they feel happiest. Now, as another minority group, they understand some of the hardships of coming out of the closet, and they are part of a community with atheists, agnostics, and free thinkers. So we've had all from A to Z when it comes to spirituality today, haven't we?
All walks of religious support groups and the free thinking support groups, and they are Float 79. So as the rain comes down, I'm happy that they're on the home stretch so people can get dried off.
Oh, exactly. Oh, my goodness.
As you can see, the crowd has dissipated a little bit. We're going to keep cruising with Buddies, which is actually underneath Woody's.
Yes, now Buddies is officially, I think, the oldest gay bar in Edmonton now, and it's Buddies Nightclub down in the basement on 117th Street in Jasper. They are a sponsor and a champion supporter of Pride over the years. Champion supporters. And it says here, Darren can talk about it. Yes, of course I can talk about it. Buddies.
I made little notes, you know, for my man Darren, if you want to chime in with some words of wisdom.
Well, all I know is every time I'm at the Pride Parade, you always look for the Buddies Float because they always have a lot of fun and they always have all of their staff there. So Buddies has supported all of the events and organizations in this fine city of ours. And here we're wrapping it up with the Edmonton Leather Folk. The Mr. Edmonton Leather, Black Solstice, Black Ice. They're a very diverse community, and it's not just about being gay or being lesbian or being bisexual. For these people, it's about the diversity of everyone that loves leather and coming together.
And groups like Leather Folk and the Alberta Bears, rather, they show all that inclusiveness.
Absolutely. And again, it opens up the realm of who can be involved in those communities. You know, there's no prejudice about what you look like or who you are or what your interests are. It's all about celebrating.
All the walls need to be knocked down, not just a few.
We have the foreskin Pride people. That's see, that's not even on our. That's not even on our.
An extra special edition. So I think, you know what? The time has come. It's hard to believe, but we have the closing banner flag. It's coming up quickly here. And that's it. There it goes, Darren.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the 2014 parade.
The parade. Wow. We went from sunny to rainy.
We've seen it
We went
all.
from A to Z. We went from spiritual to atheist.
And how fitting is it to see it all when you've seen it all? You've seen it all.
Well, we've seen it all, darling.
We
did this together.
My dear. Thank you so much for being a part of this, Darren. And thank you so much to all of our viewers who get to witness this at home from the comfort of your living room. Don't have to worry about the rain there.
Exactly. We'd like to thank everybody here at Shaw for making this possible. They've taken really good care of us today, haven't they? There was coffee, there was snacks, there was an umbrella when it got wet, and I feel just honored to be included. Thanks so much for having me. And let's thank everybody in Edmonton for watching and for taking part today.
Thank you, Edmonton.